Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Snake Pit, where I break down stats from different heroes and different war types from my year-long war study and bring those to you so that you can make a better informed decision on how to make that defense team work. Today, I am bringing a behemoth, so I'm going to be covering Krampus today. So Krampus is one of the Santa's Challenges heroes. It has been a centerpiece in a lot of war defense teams. He does have a costume. That one came out this past Christmas, December 1st, and was nerfed in February. So I don't have much data on him for his costume. So I am just going to cover the regular version, of which there is an abundance of. In fact, I'm seeing now as I'm collecting data for the next version that even though people have the costume bonus, they have chosen, most of them choose to take the regular version. So anyways, the stats I'm going to go through with today on Krampus, and I don't need to tell you that he is an exceptional hero. These stats are even without the costume bonus. So you can imagine that those extra points in certain stats will be a little bit even more helpful. So you can expect that whatever I'm showing you today, it's going to be at least that, and maybe even some if you do have that costume in the bonus. But without further ado, let's go in and just talk about Krampus very, very quickly, and then we'll get into the stats. So Krampus is a sorcerer class, average mana speed, and the base stats are heavily leaning on the defense side, and this is really appropriate for this kind of hero. He's got a Santa's sack full of support skills to help out your team. And that's what makes him a great defender in all positions. So let's start with the first. He summons an elf minion for each ally. Now, the minions are not strong on their own. They're only 7% HP and 10% attack, and that's inherited from the caster. So it's not great, but it does put up a little bit of a meat shield and can be problematic with other minion heroes, especially when their minions change the stats of the other minions. And things like Freya or Froth. So on top of the minions, he gets a taunt that prevents enemies from using their special skills on allies. That means they're all directed to Krampus. This goes on for 3 turns, and he's already got a high defense stat, but he also will get 44% defense, so plus 44% defense on himself, and an additional 10% for every time he's hit in the next 3 turns. So you can imagine that can climb up pretty darn quick. So he's taking all the shots and he's able to soak them in too. This is what makes him great. He definitely extends the life of your team. And if that wasn't enough, he also gives all allies plus 50% attack for 3 turns. So for those 3 turns, he's got the taunt up. His defense is going up and climbing whenever he takes damage, and also giving 50% attack to all allies. He's incredible. So let's just see. Let's go ahead and have a look and see how he performed. All right, we start with Arrow Barrage. The yellow triangle, of course, if you haven't seen any of my videos up to date, is the average survivability rate of all heroes in this war type. The blue shows Krampus's stats, and then of course up in the table I show that as well. Right away, your eye is going to be drawn to the tank. 42.6%. It's off the chart. I want you to also look and see how many times that was used there. Only one. Remember, blue has not been a popular choice for teams using tank. It hasn't been for a long time. You encounter them once in a while, but it's been at least a year and a half, a year to a year and a half since we saw blue teams regularly. But look how much he's used on the flank. So 63 times, and it's still at 37%, much higher than the average. On wing, only used 2 times, so take it with a grain of salt. But I'm going to even tell you in advance here, this is the only place, this is the only position of all war types that I'm about to show you where it is less than the average baseline. And look, it's barely below. It's 0.5% below. So that, if that's any indication of how good Krampus is, there it is. Also to note, teams with Krampus on the flank rank 6th out of 70 different hero types that are used at least 10 times on that in that position. He's phenomenal. Attack boost, right? A little bit lower of a survivability rate. Doesn't stop Krampus. We'll go through this quickly. There's not much to say. He's an incredible hero. So above average in both flank and tank positions. And on wing, we saw this in the last one as well, in Arrow Barrage, just around that average mark. Undead Horde. So green across the board, but again, not used much on the wing, only 3 times. But those 3 times, he actually worked out quite well. In this one, on the other ones, he was average. But again, all low usage rates. Equalizer. Okay, there's a bit more to talk about on this one. Above average on tank, but kind of in that average area. Flank and wing did very well. Again, low occurrence on wing, very high occurrence rate on flank. The relatively short duration of his skill. So remember, it lasts for 3 turns. That is not a long. That is not a long time for that special skill to go. It's not 6 turns. It's not 5 turns. So, quite honestly, if you get 2 turns out of it, you've already got most out of it that you could. 66% of it, anyways. So if he goes off at the right time, he's going to get his full special without it getting wiped by the Equalizer. There's still good scores, right? But if you remember from my Equalizer video, and I'll put a link up above here that's going to flash up, there is a taunter that does better than him. And it's a taunter that doesn't do better than him anywhere except in this one. So although Krampus's taunt apparently it's pretty good here. It's above average numbers for teams that have Krampus in it. There are other options where it doesn't get wiped away. So that's how I know it's getting affected a little bit, just because of the offset between those 2 heroes just in this war type. And for rush, so Krampus is average mana speed, so it's not a surprise that teams with Krampus in there do fairly well. His special skills are off the charts pretty much, with a big mixed bag of very useful defending tools. So as we can see, he's green across the board, tank, flank, wing, and used at least 10 times in each of these. I look at tank, only 11 times. He still ranks as the 5th best hero to have in that position for heroes that have been used at least 10 times. So if your team ever does go back to blue, I don't see this happening. Don't fret if you have Krampus it's a good spot to put him. And flank and wing, you know, they're very, very good spots to put him as well. Um, let's check the overall now. And, when I first thought about where he's useful, and my mind immediately goes to flank, like everybody else. Look at this. 327 teams have used Krampus on the flank during this war study. That is the fourth most used hero on flank out of 227 heroes that have been used in that position. So highly used overall. But look at the wing. And it's not surprising at tank that he does well there too. But look at the wing. So only used 31 times. Got it. It could change. But it is right there with tank and flank for effectiveness on a defense team. They're all within a span of 0.2%. So I found that interesting. I thought you might as well, in case that you are thinking that the only place for Krampus is on the tank or flank. Clearly not, at least with the limited data that I've got. So try it out. And actually, if anybody uses Krampus on the wing regularly, or have tried it, let me know. Let me know your experience with it, because, like I said, I've only seen it a handful of times out of our wars. But I'd like to know more. Is this a solid number? Is a above average performance there? So, what we're looking at, it's self-explanatory. That big blue triangle is extended past that, what looks like a small yellow triangle in the middle in all areas. Krampus is a great hero to have in all positions, in all wars. All right, so that's it. Krampus with his big bag of tricks, as we've seen, is a very good hero to have in all positions in pretty much all war types. Again, all these numbers are without the costume bonus, so he could potentially do better. And I've only got limited data on the costume. I didn't take any for pre-nerf, which is good because it won't skew anything when I actually do put out numbers for what the current state is with that one. In any case, if you have Krampus, continue to use him. He's not dead. He will help your team in all aspects of your defense team. And with that, if you like this video, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you know when I get the next videos out. So until next time, I'm Ssnake, and I'm here to help you defend yourself.